The Eric Zane Show podcast, the daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. Oh, I cannot figure out what I like more. The blue of the Detroit Lions hoodie or the red of the Red Wings. It just pops. Yes, indeed. You can tell that Eric is wearing all of his new work attire that he got for Christmas. You know, you're doing something right when your work attire consists of hoodies and winter caps. Here's the winter hat. Yesterday all blue with the blue hat. Today all red with the red hat and the red hoodie. My God. Holy cow. Thank you so much for being here. Now, I need to get this out of the way early. Dear Meathead, I need questions for Dad on Dear Meathead. I think I've got one. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. If you have a question for Dad on Dear Meathead, about you have questions, he has answers. And Joanne has laughter. So send those along. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. If you have a question for Dad on Dear Meathead. Make sure you put subject line Dear Meathead on that. It's easier to filter them out that way. And when I get them ready to go, if I don't get to yours, my apologies. We only have so much time with the man. But always a good time. In fact, I am beyond excited because Sunday we drive to see my dad and Joanne. And there's nothing I love more than to cook for the man. Okay? So, oh my God. We're going to, frankly, if you put crackers in front of the guy, he'll be thankful. But what we're going to do is a leg of lamb. I'm going to try not to think about what goes into actually making the leg of lamb available. The whole idea of how we get our food is just, food's great when you can have a process like taking animals and turning them into food. And most of society is like, yeah, I'm okay with that. Can you imagine if there were laws in place similar to how smoking on cigarettes, they'll tell you how terrible smoking is for you. Hell, in some countries, they show you on the package, they have pictures of someone's blackened lungs on the package. And that doesn't deter anybody from smoking. Can you imagine if they did that with our food sources so that there was a video when you're at the butcher as you're saying, yes, I'll take the leg of lamb or the lamb chops. There's actual video of what it takes to turn the lamb into food. Oh, my God. There'd be a rebellion. It's just ridiculous to even think about. I cannot believe that even crossed my mind. But, yeah, so, again, try not to think about what it takes to actually make the food. You see, that's interesting. Kenny says, I don't have a problem with cows. Well, I have a problem with it all, but it only goes as far as my hunger. Okay? When I see any animal becoming food, I'm triggered. I don't like that at all. It doesn't matter what it is. Cow, chicken, anything at all. And I'm getting worse when it comes to being triggered about animals. I just can't do it. When I watch videos on the Dodo, which is one of my favorite places to watch things. Okay, whenever there's a story about a dog or a cat that was neglected, and then this is the story of how it was skinny and about to die, and its big turnaround as it finds its forever home. So it always ends in a happy ending. I can't even watch those knowing they end happily, because I'm seeing the beginning of the piece with the animal, struggling. I just can't do it. There's two things I'm finding as I age that I cannot be part of. That is those types of things right there. And when I'm watching like a drama or something like that and someone's suffering. Okay, I watched the film All Quiet on the Western Front. I told you about that last week, which you guys explained to me that that film was a foreign language film and they put the English speaking parts overdubbed. And Nick said, I didn't know that film was overdubbed until halfway through it. Well, I can one up you. I didn't know it was overdubbed until you said it. And then I still went and watched it, more of it, because I still had about a half an hour of it to watch. And I was like, wait a minute. Is he right? And you are right. How the fuck can you have a movie where they're not even speaking English and you don't know it and the lips are moving and the voices, okay, lips aren't moving, you hear voice. It's weird. I don't know how I didn't know that. How did I not pick up on that? What an asshole I am. There's a scene in the movie when the one dude, spoiler alert, he's about to get shot by some fucking French guy. And he ends up going hand-to-hand combat and stabs the guy a bunch of times, but the guy's not dead. And so the German dude grabs handfuls of dirt and shoves it in the guy's mouth and tries suffocating him, but the guy still doesn't die. And then the German dude starts to feel bad. So he digs the dirt out of his mouth and tries to save him, but he's not going to, he ends up dying, but it takes forever for the fucker to die. That whole scene, oh, fuck. I started to watch that, and then I'm crushing the 15 second. I can't watch it. I can't do it. No. Holy shit. And it's getting worse. So if there's any, I don't know, man. So we've pinpointed on this show those two things. The other thing that puts me over the edge is, as seen yesterday on the Patreon, Bruce licking his paws. Bruce was in here licking his paws during the Patreon, and it messed me up so bad, I had to end the Patreon. I'm like, I can't do it. I am developing all sorts of mental disorders. I am just becoming an absolute mess. I'm turning into a shell of what I once was. My God, back in the day, if something bothered me, I'd just scream at it. Or, I don't know, hit it. In a lot of cases, I still do that. I think I'm just adding to my repertoire. Yesterday was run workout day. Okay, the plan was 7 miles on Saturday? Yeah. No. Sunday, Christmas. 8 miles Tuesday. Got it done. Yesterday, 8 miles. It's remarkable how how slow I am and how little it takes me to become exhausted. All right. This race that I'm going to be doing at Disney, for the Disney Half Marathon, I think it's January 7th. Now, I am not prepared for this. So the goal is just finish it. Now, you'd be surprised what you can do if you just slug it out and make it through it. And that's kind of where I'm at. So the plan is just to get it done. First of all, slow, really slow. Walk every so often and take pictures with Disney characters. I know for some of you might be like, God, that doesn't sound slow, but it is slow. I'm looking at in the network area of about 11 minutes a mile. Now, that is slow, but it's not as slow as I was when I raced Mike Ball for not the most recent Grand Rapids half marathon, but the one before that, the one where, oh yeah, I'm going to kick your ass. And then I had to like limp my way to the finish line. Holy shit. I can promise you, I will still be faster than that. But yesterday was workout day, and okay, so now this is like the crash course as the so-called rubber meets the road, getting ready for this. You know what? I've got to turn this around. It's really, really important that I keep at this after this marathon ends, because I still want to race Mike Ball coming up in October. I really do. Today is a big day, and I tell you what, a little bit of fear crept across my heart yesterday because I found out that today was going to happen, and you're like, what the hell are you talking about? But you may remember that not long ago, the NFK, my brother-in-law, and I sat down in front of a liver doctor, I think endocrinologist. And they said, okay, this lady, this doctor, whatever her name is, I forget. She says, look, you've got cirrhosis. No more alcohol at all. And I'm like, what? And he goes, what? And they go, and I'm like happy, you know. They said, she says, once you start down the road of cirrhosis, any alcohol is going to destroy liver cells. She says, you're lucky you're in here early because you have no outward signs. Your actual liver function has not been impaired at all. Most people that I sit down in front of, you know, they're coming to me with all sorts of problems and their liver is already destroyed. And I can actually put a timeline till they're dead. Not you, though. You're lucky. It's great that this was caught. However, you're done drinking alcohol. And he goes, even NA? She goes, none. Nothing. No alcohol. Period. Which is remarkable how quickly people forget, because the NFK at Jackie's wedding realized that they had non-alcoholic beer there. Well, there is alcohol in O'Doul's. And he goes, hey, I'm thinking about getting one of those. And I go, yeah, no, I don't think that's a good idea at all. I mean, I'm not in the business of telling doctors how to do their job. And no, you can't have any fucking alcohol, you dumbass. So he's fucking lucky. But the doc ordered an ultrasound. She wants to get a closer look at the liver. And she also ordered an endoscopy and a colonoscopy. So they literally go in your butthole and your mouth at the same time. It's like DP. You're like a fucking Showtime rotisserie chicken. Okay? Oh, my God. And they're going to go down, take a look at his esophagus and his stomach, because I guess in the past he had an ulcer. So they are really, really going to go and get a good look at this man's digestive system. And again, this is all part of bringing him back to life. This is what happens. Kenny says in Eiffel Tower. This is what happens to people when they let themselves go. So now we're going on 2.5 years, okay, of doctor's visits. And so much has happened. He's had his neck rebuilt. He has plenty of visits to his regular doctor, plenty of visits to the dentist. We have to have the meeting with the dentist very soon, where it's actually in the office. Typically, you can just meet in the chair, and they say, all right, yeah, I'm going to, looks like you need a root canal, unfortunately, or, okay, you got a little decay here. I'm going to put a filling in. No. We have to have the meeting with the leather-bound books behind the dentist, okay? And to formulate a plan. Like, he actually has to write down a plan of action to get the teeth repaired. And I'm like, hey, this is what happens to people when they let themselves go. This is why you go to the doctor. This is why you take care of your mouth. This is why you go to the dentist. I will say this. Today was a good day because he's preparing his food, and the food was actually in the actual sink when he was putting the salt on it. And I'm like, fuck yes. I saw him doing it. I'm like, thank you. That means he hasn't forgotten. And that makes me happy because he so violently puts the salt and pepper on the food that the shit goes flying everywhere on top of my stove, and then I have to clean it. And it all boils down to what I have to clean. It's like, dude, okay, if you're not going to clean up after yourself, can you at least just prepare the food in a way that when it makes a mess, it's in an area of the home that I don't care? The sink. You have two choices. Put your food in the sink or the toilet. You pick, and then salt it. And then when I went into the bathroom, I could smell that you could still smell the scent of toothpaste that had freshly been put onto the tube, put into his mouth, brushed his fucking teeth. I'm like, holy shit, he's getting it done. This is great. So the liver doctor says, I need the colon endo, and that is full sedation, not just the propofol. Full sedation on the man as they go in and get a complete look. Now, Linda said, God help that doctor. Okay. When they get up his ass, and if they come back and say, we didn't find one polyp, this will again be another upset of nature. Okay? Because I would imagine years of Hot Pockets and frozen meals and Bob Evans sausage or Jimmy Dean sausage sandwiches, that there's going to be a disaster in there. I'm guessing you will see whole sandwiches in his colon, untouched, stuck at like the bend. Then the ultrasound. So I call the. This is fucked up because I called. They sent a note, a letter said you must schedule these two procedures. So I called the number. They said, okay, 2 different places. This is at the liver specialist. 2 different places, 2 different types of scheduling. For the colon endo, that's full sedation. You got to call this number. So I call the number, and the lady picks it up, but it's a voicemail, and you can tell she's irritated. She says, thank you for calling, blah, 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 with Dr. So-and-so. Please leave your name, date of birth, and phone number. She indicates that they're very busy and that it may take upwards of 7 days for them to call back to schedule, which I thought was weird. And then on the outgoing message, she says, if you do not hear from us, please do not call and leave another message because it slows the process down. And I'm like, okay. And she sounded pissed when she said it. Okay. So, she's sitting there listening to these messages and she gets pissed off because someone gets annoyed and calls back. We will call you. And it may take up to 7 days. So 7 days passes. I hear nothing. I call back the main line. I said, hey. They go, call them back. I go, well, they told me not to. They're going to get mad at me. And she goes, call them back. Like, what the fuck kind of operation are we running here that you can't even get someone? You sent me a letter saying to schedule him. I call to schedule. And then they don't call me back and they give me fucking attitude. This is what? So I call back, leave another message. I get nothing. Still waiting on that. Ultrasound, though. Yesterday I called. And I hadn't called ultrasound. I had called for endocolon. Ultrasound. She says to me, okay, this is yesterday. She goes, okay, can you be in Big Rapids, Michigan at 7:30 tonight? And I go, no, I cannot. And I go, I'm in Grand Rapids area. I'm not going to drive 100 miles at night. And why the fuck? Who? They work all night? Then she says, okay, I have a 4 in the morning and I have a 5:30 in the morning. And I'm like, huh? Which asshole says, I'll take the 3 in the morning or I'll take the 4 in the morning? Finally, she says, okay, December 28th, yesterday, she says, that's tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. in Grand Rapids. Now, I'm going to say yes, but I want to say no. Because the NFK requires a lot of lead up for these things. He doesn't like surprises. He has to wrap his mind around these things, and I'm well aware of that. So I'm like, okay, this is going to be a little weird if I have to break the news to him. But I committed to it, and I said, okay, let's do it. I hang up. Go downstairs, and I break the news to him. And, oh, by the way, there was one more piece of news that the operator gave me, and that was he has to fast. I'm like, oh, shit. I got to tell him that he has to fast, and less than 24 hours he has to get an ultrasound. Oh, no. I'm fucking dead. Went downstairs. I said, hey, I did schedule with the ultrasound for your liver, and we are all set. And good news. It's happening very quickly. We can get this out of the way tomorrow. Huh? It's like I'm talking to a kid. You know, like your mom or your dad, whenever they wanted, when there was something that they knew you hated, okay? They always talked about it to you or explained it to you in that tone. Hey, guess what? You got to get a tooth pulled. We're going to get rid of you. Oh, fuck. You're like, oh, no, fucking shit. No way. So I break the news to him, and he's looking at me like, what? This is the worst news that I could possibly get. This is so horrible. He doesn't say anything, though, and I go, so, yeah, we're going to get that. Oh, and they want you to fast. You can't eat for 8 hours prior. So we're going to walk in there at 4:15 in the afternoon. So that means you got to be done eating by 8:15. So get up and just pig out. Eat whatever you want. And, he is not having it. It's just like, I fucking hate you. Now, earlier in the day, you see, he's hot and cold. When, we had yesterday was the big shower day, and that's a regular process, as we've talked about, giving him a shower. And then I have to, some of you cringe at this, but when you start to do this type of personal care, you become desensitized to the things that, like what I'm about to tell you, you're going to be like, oh my God, I cannot believe you do that. But once you gut it out and do it once or twice, it's not a big deal. You become completely immune to the oddness of it. So yes, I'm holding his foot and using that fucking sanding pad. It's actually like a cheese grater on his foot to make sure that his callus is gone. And I am so proud of his feet. Oh my God. Because I bought this Mac Daddy fucking foot shaver. You use the grinding thing on his heel and the pad just below the toes. And you do it over the garbage can because it's like Parmesan cheese. It is just falling off like snow. And I'm like, and then you flip it over and it's got that stone and that takes more off, but not, well, it takes not as much off, but it's smooth. It's a smoothing stone. And then on the opposite end is another smoothing stone. So it's kind of like you're changing the grit of the sandpaper, like when you're doing woodworking. So, and then the fourth, so there's two ends, and on either side, there's a different texture. And then the fourth and final texture is a brush. And then it's a stiff bristled brush, and you really take all of that diseased, dried foot shaven fungus, and then it's gone. And then you got to put like the special cream on the bottom of his foot to soften it with a sock over it so that, it just absorbs into the skin and keeps it callus free. It's very, very important. So, that's part of the job here on fixing up our pal, the NFK. So, he got me a Carhartt jacket for Christmas, and these things are not cheap. And I needed it because my old one had been damaged. And when I do things like plow the snow, I like a jacket like this. Okay. It's a great, great coat. And he got it for me. And so later on in the day, and I said, hey, buddy, thank you again for the Carhartt for Christmas. And he goes, no, thank you for all that you do for me. Thank you. And I go, well, the pleasure is mine. So it was very, very sweet. Now that's when he's, in that mood. And then there's the mood when he wants to be a pit bull and he wants to bite out my throat when I break the news to him that he has to fast and that we have to go to the doctor. And he's like, fucking shit. Oh my God. So that is today. Wish me luck. He woke up today, like I said, and he made frozen tuna noodle casserole at 7:20 a.m., salted it in the sink, and he better be done eating it because the doc said 8:15, no food. Maureen says, what did you get Kevin for Christmas? I have no idea. That is not my department. Diana buys everything for everyone and then wraps it. And then when they open it, it says, to Kevin from Eric and Diana. And then they go, thank you. And I go, hey, you're welcome. I picked that out myself. I don't do any of that stuff. That's a Diana thing. Ram says, I had no idea there are stones and different grits involved. Oh, yeah. You got to smooth the foot. Like if you go get a pedicure, they have a whole arsenal of these weapons of destruction that can make your foot so smooth. As you know, I love feet. Now, I am not attracted to the NFK's feet. All right? I need a cute dainty woman's foot, preferably with dirt on it. But the NFK's foot, no. But I do take pride in repairing the foot. All right. For those of you that are listening on Twitch, you stay right there. For those who are listening and watching on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, I'm about to kick you out. If you want the rest of the show, okay, it is on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live or download the Twitch app and search Eric Zane Live, all one word. There I am. Give yourself a little username and join the fun. That way you can get the show, if you prefer to get the show live, uninterrupted, and watch it as well as listen to it. There you go. Even if you don't utilize Twitch, would you please go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live and follow the page? Okay? That helps your old pal Eric Zane. Okay? If you want more of the show uninterrupted, you must subscribe with your Amazon Prime account. Please do that. Otherwise, you can also download the on-demand audio podcast wherever you download shows. And if you feel like it, correspond with me. Send me an email on the Shoreliner Striping inbox, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Okay, I say goodbye to you now. Have a great one if I don't see you or you don't see me and all that shit. Bye-bye.